What I've learned, according to Femi Falana SAN, says that the constitution gives there's the constitutional right for people to protest. And it's the duty of the police to provide security for those who are protesting. What the police are supposed to do is, Femi Falana SAN said this a while back, that what the police are supposed to do, I think is relation to other protests that have happened in the past, that the police is supposed to provide security to ensure that those who are protesting are protected and that other people too are also protected. So this thing doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. If it's the duty of Nigerian police to protect, to provide security, and protect citizens, that duty is also extended to protesters. And so, if the NLC, TUC have given notice, FCTA workers have already been protesting. They've already been urging the government. And now the NLC, TUC wants to do a solidarity rally. Why can't the police now say, okay, you want to hold a solidarity rally? Okay, let's mobilize. If you want to do an election, they know how to mobilize a lot of police to ensure that there is peace, security during elections. So if there is a rally that's supposed to hold in Abuja, why not provide enough personnel, not to disrupt the protest, but to provide security, to ensure that those people that they said are non-state actors and proscribed groups will not hijack the protest? Why would the police not want to provide security? Why would they say the protest should be postponed? This one is a reflection of the Tinubu's administration stance, where they are really against protest. And I saw this Sahara reporter said FCTA police commands asks organized labor to reconsider protests in Abuja, claims Shiites could hijack demonstration. I saw a space was held in Twitter on X, a space where they invited the spokesperson to the president, Sunday Dare, the FCTA spokesperson, police command spokesperson will be there. They are holding a space talking about why the protest tomorrow by the NLC should not hold. The reason why it should not hold, So it brings me to this question. Why is the Tinubu administration so scared of protest? Protest in a constitutional democracy, as is being practiced in Nigeria, protest is one way whereby people can express their displeasure with what is going on with the government. Protest is guaranteed, according to what legal experts have said, protest is guaranteed under the law. So if people are not happy with certain things the government is doing, one way they can do it is by way of peaceful protests. That's one legitimate way people can express their displeasure. Then at other times, workers could go on strike, to push for demands. And also during elections, if people are not happy with the government in power, with those in power, they could be voted out by way of elections. So protests, strikes, elections, these are various avenues whereby people can express their displeasure, and constitutional democracy ordinarily should allow oppositions, should allow multi-party, So if for the political circle, right, the opposition parties are being dismantled, opposition parties are facing a lot of problems orchestrated by the ruling party, such that a number of opposition parties are having problems. So if opposition parties are avenues by which people can express their displeasure, if they are not happy with the government of the day, they can join an opposition party to now work against the ruling party, so that when election time comes, they can they can defeat the ruling party. So you don't want people to organize by way of opposition parties. And when people want to now express their displeasure by way of strike, you don't want them to by way of protest. You don't want them you don't want them to protest. You know. And if you don't want them to protest, you don't want them to join opposition parties, you just want them to just bottle up the grievances they have and all that. That is not good. When people just bottle up their displeasure and their discontent, and they don't have an avenue through which they will express it, that is a pressure cooker, and when it's released, it can really be bad, right? So rather than have that, and seeing that the current government, those in power today, have engaged in these protests before in the past. In the past, the ruling party has, the president and others, saw protests as a way of expressing displeasure with previous government. And the previous government allowed them to do those protests. And unions saw strikes as a way of expressing their displeasure with the government. If these things were used in the past by opposition, by people who were not happy with the direction of the government, why can't this current government, that is headed by people who were in the opposition in the past, not allow for peaceful protest and ensure that the protests are managed by providing security, by telling the police to provide security? Security not to scuttle the protests, not to stop the protests, but to protect those who are protesting, and to protect even ordinary citizens who are not part of the protest, who are just going about by their normal activities, and to ensure that these elements they talked about, people who are people who they said they belong to proscribed groups and all of that, that you don't want these people to hijack the protest. The police can be there to ensure that doesn't take place.